Even native individuals do not catch every isolated word in a rapid chat. On occasion, place your center of attention on comprehending the primary thought first of all. Do not stop every single second due to one unknown word. A peaceful brain comprehends things far better. Another powerful aspect concerning listening is inner courage. When your brain turns familiar with English sounds, terror turns much tinier. In the beginning, chats might feel highly painful because English still sounds like a strange thing to your mind. But after multiple months of listening training, English begins to feel totally standard. And when English feels standard, talking transforms into a simpler task too. One additional fine routine is listening while performing your everyday tasks. You can easily listen while strolling, washing up, moving around, or taking a rest. This bumps up your English contact in a natural way. The more English that steps inside your ears, the more powerful your language skills turn. You ought to likewise listen to subjects that you enjoy. You can choose inspiring clips, narrative stories, friendly chats, or audio podcasts. Fun listening aids regular action, and regular action produces true smoothness. Another error that a lot of students commit is changing every word into their native language while listening. This action slows down your comprehension. Instead, try to grasp the actual meaning directly. For instance, if a character says, "I am very tired today," do not instantly change every single word. Merely grasp the inner feeling and meaning. This assists your brain to handle English at a faster pace. Step by step, your comprehension speed gets better in a natural way. One vital detail to hold in mind is patience. Mastering a language demands open time. On certain days, advancement feels quite slow. That is perfectly fine. Do not review yourself in too harsh a manner. Your brain is still absorbing knowledge in a quiet way in the background. Then, one fine day, you suddenly realize that you comprehend far more at this moment. English sounds clear. It sounds a lot clearer at this moment. You can track chats with much greater ease. That specific second feels magnificent, and it takes place precisely because you stayed regular in your action. Keep this in your memory with care. The more natural English your ears take in every single day, the more natural your personal talking turns down the road. So listen every single day. Even minor listening training holds value, because powerful listening skills generate powerful talking courage and assist you to speak properly. It helps you speak English like a real professional. Now, we move on to the next lesson. Lesson 4 is to quit changing every sentence into your native language. One of the grandest motives why a large number of English students talk at a slow pace is language translation. They initially form thoughts in their native language, and then they attempt to switch every phrase into English. Because of this action, the brain turns highly stressed and slow. Talking feels like a tough task. A lot of students understand. They comprehend English, yet during live chats, they take far too many breaks. Why does this occur? Because their intellect is completely occupied with changing every word. Listen with care. Smooth English speakers do not change every phrase. They form thoughts directly inside English. That is the exact motive why their talking feels totally smooth and natural. At this moment, a lot of beginners hear this point and feel terrified. They think to themselves, in what manner can I form thoughts in English if my skills are low? Calm down and relax. You do not require tough English thoughts in the beginning phase. Start out with very tiny statements. Basic English thinking is completely sufficient. For instance, when you wake up, think, I feel weary. I require water. This day feels fine. While consuming food, think, This meal is wonderful. I love this warm tea. While strolling out in the open, think, the climate is warm. There is a large crowd of individuals here. These are very basic thoughts, yet they are remarkably powerful today. Why is that? Because your brain, bit by bit, turns comfortable utilizing English in a natural way. Another error that a lot of students commit is attempting to talk high-level English way too early. They desire flawless grammar and tough vocabulary words right away. This creates heavy weight, and heavy weight creates terror. Listen with full care. Expert talking does not signify tough English. Expert talking signifies smooth and bold sharing of meaning. Basic English spoken in a natural way sounds far superior to others. It looks much better than complex English spoken with terror. Another highly effective routine is detailing your immediate environment in English. Cast your eyes around your room and say, "My telephone is on the desk. The space is quiet. The window is open." This trains your brain to tie English directly to real life. And this tie is incredibly vital because a language turns far more powerful when it connects directly with everyday life experiences. A lot of students also experience terror about making mistakes. They fear committing errors while forming thoughts in English. Do not stress over it too much. The target is never perfection. The target is schooling your brain to utilize English in a natural way. In the beginning, your phrases might feel quite broken or basic. That is standard. Your brain is simply mastering a brand new routine. Another vital point is this. Forming thoughts in English drops your terror level while you are talking. When you change things in your mind constantly, your brain turns totally overloaded. You think about structural grammar, vocabulary words, sound production, and language translation all at the exact same moment. This creates high stress. But when you begin to form thoughts directly inside English, your intellect turns far calmer, and a calm mind bumps up your inner courage. For instance, picture that an acquaintance asks you, "What are you doing at this moment?" If your brain initially changes the question from your native language, your reply turns a lot slower. But if you think in English, it flows. The reply pops out in a natural way. You say, "I am learning. I am doing my job. I am taking a rest." That is exactly why forming thoughts in English is incredibly powerful. Another good habit is saying your internal thoughts out loud. While straightening up your room, say, "I am cleaning up at this moment. This space appears far better." While preparing food, say, "I am cooking dinner. The meal smells wonderful." This schools your talking and your thinking at the exact same moment. And step by step, your flow gets better. It gets better on its own. One additional vital detail. Do not halt every single second to fix structural grammar inside your head. A lot of students overthink things far too much. Because of this behavior, talking turns into a highly painful task. Place your center of attention on sharing meaning first of all. Structural grammar gets better at a slow pace through contact and training. Your brain acquires knowledge much faster when you calm down. Another error that a lot of students commit is changing phrase by phrase. They translate word by word during live chats. This action makes your talking sound like a machine. Instead, put your focus on core concepts and basic meaning. English is not solely a collection of words. It is the sharing of meaning. Another powerful aspect concerning forming thoughts in English is rapid speed. The more frequently your brain trains with direct English thinking, the faster your talking transforms. At the start, advancement feels quite slow, but after multiple months of training, a big change occurs. Something truly magnificent takes place. Your brain begins creating English sentences automatically, without any heavy language translation. That stands as a beautiful second for every single student. Another point you must grasp is this. Your brain transforms through doing things again and again. If you form thoughts in English every single day, your brain, bit by bit, builds brand new language routines. Just like steering a car turns simpler with training, English thinking likewise turns simpler as time moves forward.
Be gentle with your own self. Do not anticipate instant smoothness. Smoothness expands stride by stride. Another highly effective routine is keeping your English surroundings fully active. Read English materials. Attend to English sounds. Talk in English. Form thoughts in English. The more frequently your brain stays tied to English every single day, the more natural the language turns. And when English feels natural, inner courage expands automatically. Keep this in your memory with care. The target is very clear.
The target is not to change sentences in a flawless way. The target is just sharing meaning in a comfortable way. Therefore, stop forcing your brain to change every single sentence. Begin forming thoughts in basic English every single day, because the very second your intellect turns comfortable forming thoughts in English, your talking begins to sound far smoother, faster, and more expert in a natural way. Now we move to the next part. Lesson 5 is to terminate your terror of committing errors completely. One of the grandest motives why human beings cannot speak English with high courage is terror. It is not a lack of mental brightness, not a lack of natural talent, and not a lack of vocabulary words. It is just plain terror. A large number of students comprehend English wonderfully inside their intellect. Yet, when it is time to open their lips, they suddenly turn highly anxious. Their heart pumps at a faster pace. Their mind goes completely empty, and they begin to think deeply about making bad mistakes today. They think, what if I utter something incorrect? What if individuals mock me? What if my structural grammar is terrible? What if my sound production sounds highly odd? Due to these internal thoughts, a lot of individuals remain completely quiet, and complete silence slowly ruins your smoothness. Listen with care. If you desire to talk English like an expert, you must absolutely stop being terrified of errors. Errors are never a sign that you are fragile. Errors are clear signs that you are actively learning. Every single smooth English speaker that you look up to today committed errors at one point too. They likewise spoke broken English. They likewise lost track of words. They likewise felt deep shame on occasion, yet they pushed forward with talking. That is the exact motive why they got better. Think about a small baby named Zara in Mumbai attempting to learn how to walk. In the beginning, the baby hits the floor many times, yet the baby keeps on trying over and over, and bit by bit, walking transforms into a natural act. English talking functions in the exact same manner. In the beginning, talking feels quite strange. You might take breaks frequently. You might employ incorrect grammar rules. You might say words in an improper manner. That is entirely standard. Nobody turns smooth in a single day. Another unsafe error that a lot of students commit is waiting around for flawless English prior to talking. They imagine, I will start talking after my grammar rules turn completely flawless. But listen with full care to this vital truth. Flawlessness is never the starting line of smoothness. Active training is the true starting line of smoothness. The more frequently you talk, the more comfortable your brain turns, and step by step, inner courage expands in a natural way. Another point you must grasp is this. A large majority of individuals are far too occupied thinking about their own selves to evaluate your English as much as you picture in your mind. A lot of students generate terror inside their own thoughts. They think everyone is watching them. They trust that every single person is tracking every error with care. But in all honesty, most individuals value your genuine effort, and a lot of people feel anxious about talking too. Do not permit made-up terror to freeze your advancement. Another powerful reality is this: errors assist your brain to get better. Every single time you commit an error and fix it, your brain absorbs a highly vital lesson. That is the exact way skill expansion takes place. Think about mastering how to ride a two-wheeled bicycle. No human being learns perfectly without hitting the ground a few times. On occasion, hitting the ground schools you on balance. The exact same action takes place with English. Errors school you on smoothness. Without committing errors, genuine learning transforms into a tough task. A lot of students likewise match themselves against others far too much. They view smooth speakers on screens and suddenly feel completely sad. They think to themselves, "My English is completely awful. I will never manage to talk like them." But keep this in your memory with care. You are viewing their final success, not their starting line. You failed to see their long years of errors, deep terror, and constant training. Every single smooth speaker was a basic newcomer at 1.2. Another vital point is this: terror expands when you run away from talking. The more frequently you run away from English chats, the more terrifying talking transforms. But when you train on a regular basis, your brain, bit by bit, calms down. It becomes very peaceful. The very first chat might feel quite tough. The second one turns slightly simpler. Following a large number of chats, inner courage expands in a natural way. Taking action drops your terror level. Running away pumps up your terror level. That is exactly why everyday talking training holds so much value. Even basic English training is remarkably powerful. You do not require high-level vocabulary words to make progress. For instance, you can say simple things like, "I feel anxious," or "I am absorbing English now." You can say, "I require additional training." These are very basic statements, yet basic English spoken with high courage is far more powerful than staying completely quiet forever. Another unsafe path that students take is freezing up after every tiny error. Do not fall into a state of panic every time your grammar rules are less than flawless. Keep on talking. Maintaining your flow is what is truly vital. Expert speakers likewise commit tiny errors on occasion, yet they push forward in a natural way today. They move ahead because their center of attention is locked on sharing meaning. Another vital lesson is this one: inner courage does not signify talking in a flawless way. Inner courage signifies moving forward even when errors take place. That represents genuine courage. A lot of individuals wait to experience inner courage prior to talking English. However, inner courage expands precisely due to talking, not prior to the moment you talk. The more live experience you gain, the more powerful your inner courage turns. Another highly effective routine is talking all by yourself. Speak to yourself using English. Detail how your day went. Detail your upcoming targets. Detail your inner feelings. This takes away all outside weight and assists your brain to turn comfortable with the act of talking. And, step by step, your talking turns far smoother. Another point you must grasp is this: people who mock language students frequently carry their own deep self-doubts. Strong human beings back up your personal growth always.
Weak human beings mock genuine effort. Do not grant negative individuals the power to rule your future days. Every single brand new skill appears a bit clumsy in the beginning phase. That is standard. Another powerful reality is this: your tomorrow's smoothness is tucked away directly behind your terror. The exact second you stop being ruled by errors, your talking courage begins to expand at a much faster pace. Keep this in your memory with care. You do not require flawless English to talk like a professional expert. You require bravery, active training, patience, and regular action. Therefore, stop being terrified of errors. Talk a lot more. Train every single day. Grant yourself permission to sound less than flawless, because every single error is merely one more stride toward turning into a bold and smooth English speaker. Now, let us look at the next lesson. Lesson 6 is to talk with human feeling and high courage. A lot of English students talk just like mechanical robots. Their speaking voice sounds flat and slow. They speak without any human energy. Why does this occur? Because they place far too much heavy focus on grammar rules and deep terror. They turn so anxious that they lose track of natural human expression. But listen with full care. Expert speakers do not merely employ words. They utilize human feeling, high energy, and inner courage. That is the exact thing that makes talking remarkably powerful. Picture two characters, Meena and Priya, in Sillet, uttering the exact same statement. I am very excited today. The first character, Meena, speaks without any human feeling. The second character, Priya, puts on a smile, utilizes high energy, and sounds completely alive. Who sounds far more bold? Obviously, the second character, Priya, because sharing meaning is not built solely on vocabulary words. Human energy holds massive weight too. Whenever you talk English, attempt to relax your face muscles and your speaking voice. Smile in a natural way. Inject human feeling while you are talking. Shift your vocal tone smoothly. If an event is thrilling, sound truly thrilled. If an event is serious, sound truly serious. This action makes your English sound far more natural and highly expert. Another point you must grasp is this: confidence also arises from your physical body language. Stand up in a proper way. Keep your eyes looking forward. Breathe in a calm way. Your physical body sways your speaking voice. Whenever your physical body feels at peace, your talking turns far smoother. Do not talk in too quiet a manner due to terror now. Talk with full clarity. You do not require to yell, but your speaking voice ought to sound bold and peaceful. One additional vital detail: do not attempt to sound flawless like a metal machine. Genuine sharing of meaning holds human feeling and individual character. That is the exact thing that makes talking truly fascinating. Therefore, when you train your English, train with genuine feeling, because human feeling makes your English sound fully alive, natural, and expert. I will spot you in the upcoming video.